and distractions, just to start the call.
Live streaming is on.
Intentions and distractions is pretty simple. So what is your intentions for this call, and like what are your expectations, as well as distractions, just calling out, oh hey, yeah, my kids in the other room, and I might be distracted a little bit. It's totally fine. So and then pass it to someone. So my intentions for the call are to help facilitate a really cool plan for this call that Olivia and I came up with to try to distill the vision into one sentence. I'm hoping, my intention for this call is that within 45 minutes, we have one sentence to propose to the group of what is the TE Commons mission or vision. And if not, then we at least have someone who's going to take on that role, or a group of 3 that will finish it today. And distractions, I'm not distracted by anything. I'll pass it to Livia.
Hi everyone, my intentions for this call are that we succeed in coming up with a line of a vision statement for the TE Commons, and I'm also here to help anyone with Miro if that's an issue. And my distractions is that I live in Egypt and internet here is sometimes really a problem. So I am getting a bit like trying to get in the board right now. And I'll pass to Angela.
Hello. I just stumbled into the call. My distraction is that my trousers are wet because I spilled my coffee just when entering the call, but nothing else. And I'm super excited I just had a look at the Miro board, and I really, I love it. I like the all the quotes from people joining the call last week, and yeah, looking forward to learn more, since I missed a lot, obviously. Okay, I have to select someone else. Jakob, hi.
Hi. So Shabnam invited me to the call, and for me, my intention is to get to know this space and you all a bit better, and to start participating more after the TE Value Flow course. And my distraction is that I will be co-facilitating the Holochain Dev Camp right after this call, so I might be a bit anxious and jumping off at 3 p.m. Yeah, thanks. And so, Vasily.
Hi all. Yeah, I'm just a guest on this call, so I was invited by Sebnem, and I want to contribute somehow if I can. But first of all, I'm just a guest and want to dive deep inside and understand how I think it's getting on in TE Commons at the moment. And my main distraction is that right after this call, I have one more call, but it is not distracting me so seriously, so I think it is okay. And I will pass...
and then pass it.
Yeah, I will pass it to Cyprian.
Hey everyone. So my intention here, I think, is to, well, work together towards that famous sentence that I hope will make sense. And my distraction is my cat, who is just running around me, so it should be all right. And I don't know if we are forgetting someone. Grief, maybe, if you want to. You already said that, right?
I think Vasily is the last one, right?
We're missing Shabnam, I guess.
Oh yeah, Shabnam. What's your distraction?
Did Vasily go?
Yeah, Vasily just talked.
Oh yeah, Shabnam.
Jakob also. So it's just me. Yeah, so my intention is to, just listen what you guys have inputted and already digested from the token engineering community with respect to values, and I want to basically get a hint of what it is that most of us want to achieve and whether the projects that we picked up are already in line or not. Probably they are, and then facilitate the actual synchronization with what's happening. And my distraction is that that we actually have a party upstairs, but that's okay. Yeah, so my father-in-law has his birthday today.
Ooh. All right.
Did everyone go, or are we still missing
Yeah,
anyone?
I think we are through.
Okay, so we have a nice, I think, easy agenda and a clear path for distilling this all of this data into one sentence. So our first task is for everyone to kind of read through everybody's comments. Livia put it really nice and organized in this beautiful board. And if you want to play with it, you can copy and paste the board beneath the board. And you can make your own little world that you can, yeah, just like that. And that you can, you know, mess around with. And this top one is locked. But our goal here is to read all of these notes and then try to come to a consensus on what the consensus answer is to questions 3, 4, and 5. So you will write your own answer that tries to be as, you know, as inclusive, but also, you know, like, don't be afraid to put your own opinion in there slightly on what the like group consensus is for questions 3, 4, and 5. And then after that, we're going to do the exact same thing together. You're going to read what your answers were for questions 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to try to collaborate and have a conversation about what our answer is together for 5. So this
3, 4,
first
and
part
5
will be kind of, the questions are 3 is, how will the world change because of the Token Engineering Commons? How did the Token Engineering Commons bring about that change? And what is your vision for the TE Commons? Values, funding culture, and out of scope are providing context for us to really understand what is the consensus answer. Oh, thank you, Livia, for these pink questions. And then after that, everyone's going to read what they thought their consensus answer was. And of course, there's no wrong answer here. I mean, all of your perspectives are extremely valid and welcome. But then we're going to have a discussion and actually try to narrow down our collective answer for question 5. What is the vision of the TE Commons?
Who is Daniel Thomas? Is the only one I didn't get a chance to get to know.
Yeah, I don't know. Does anyone know Daniel?
Okay.
Just a guy.
Cool. I like. Okay, cool. Let's go.
Yeah.
Griff, one question. Should I formulate one sentence for 3, one sentence for 4, and one sentence for 5, or should I try to merge it in one single sentence?
One sentence for each, or
Okay.
and it can be 2 sentences if you feel like
Okay.
you need it to be. That's okay.
2 long sentences, perhaps.
Oh no.
Okay.
Angela, what did you mean when you said I generally tend to E
Oh,
for the funding
Okay,
culture?
E was one of the questions, and I think it was fund mostly TE focused projects that. Wait,
that provide a
do you
public
have
good
it?
for
I think-
token engineering.
Exactly.
So there were in funding culture, it was kind of like there's funding TE projects that provide a public good, and then there's in general for society, or I think that the question was a little confusing, so I don't know what everyone really thought of it, but it's more of a mission focused question, so it provides context. But then the E was the most specific, where it says we're only going to fund, public goods in the token engineering space.
Oh, I remember the question, yeah.
Yeah, in Griffs, I'm sorry, I'm a bit confused reading through the Miro board, but where can I find the questions 3, 4, and 5? Are there somewhere explicitly written?
Yeah, the questions are on the very far left column, and the 3, 4, and 5 are in the pink. So these 3 pink cards.
Okay, thank you.
They're a little, they're kind of abbreviated.
You can also regroup some of the sticks you like out of the board to help you make a cohesive view of everything, of your favorite answers, and that might help you to come up with your answer.
I have it zoomed in and I'm reading my own paper. I'm like, oh, that's interesting view.
Hey, this seems to be a really smart person.
I like opinions, guys.
It's interesting how we all have kind of the same vision of what is out of scope, which is private stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to like open source and public common good. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that for sure is in context, and then there's some, it's like education on blockchain that isn't token engineering, for Tramp. Like, in some ways it's like even, and that's where that was kind of the difference between projects that provide a public good and projects that provide a public good for token engineering. Right? Like that's so I think that's where the gray area starts.
So I basically did like a last column just to sum up everything. I don't know if it's the kind of the right way to do it, but I think it's kind of efficient.
Oh, nice. Yeah, in the end, you should end up with some 3 cards that have your answers on them.
Yeah, I also kind of work like this, but a bit offline. Meaning I have a paper where I try to
Oh.
and then I will put it on Miro, but probably will end up with something like Cyprian.
Paper. Let's see. That's awesome.
Yeah. Save.
We have probably 10 more minutes. Maybe 8 more minutes.
I think the answer of Chris for the
It looks
how we,
duplicated.
yeah, exactly. It's 2 times the same stuff.
For
2 and 3.
question 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Olivia, do you have the ability to go find that? What Chris's answer to 3 was?
2, 3, 3. Yeah, should I once I'll duplicate, make it big here. Can you see?
Oh yeah, nice. Well, that was his. This was his answer to 2, and it was copied twice.
Oh, okay.
So we need it from the type form.
Oh, go back. I updated there now.
Thank you, Olivia.
Was like, who put this melon for tokens? All right, Charmin.
Melon Porto. Yeah, I like Sherman's Disneyland answer too. Okay, I'm definitely going slow. How are you guys doing? How close are you guys to having the answers?
I feel
Like-
that
Just
I'm
one.
struggling with the vision because it feels like it's just duplicating the other two. I'm trying to find new elements there.
That's okay if it duplicates. In the end, that's the one we're going to distill into. So
exactly. So it's not duplicating, but underscoring maybe.
Mm.
So wouldn't worry about that.
Maybe like the how did the key comments bring about that change and the vision for the key comments? Like
Mm-hmm.
the first one is very applied way, like what should we do, and the second is what should we become, and like what's the long-term goal.
How
I
and
think-
why kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
So I also need more time. So if, I'm just finished with the first one.
same.
But it's okay if you.
I will say that we have 3 more minutes, so that we make sure that we have time. But if you feel like you didn't finish while people are presenting their results, you can just say, "Oh, pick me last," because I know I need to be picked last. I've only finished the first one.
Ooh, I like this is Dorian, yeah.
Yeah.
Speak out. Which one?
The labor creates outputs. Outputs bring attention. Attention brings funds. Funds support labor. So this is like the positive feedback loop of the T comments.
Yeah. He did design this.
This is the answer. Yeah, right. This is the answer on the vision, but I think it's actually the answer on the how.
Yeah. You know how they say in interviews, you don't answer the question that was asked, you answer the question you wish they asked?
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Ooh, the vision is the hardest one.
Yep. Is anyone done?
Nearly done, yeah.
Ooh. You get that first, like the first person who turns in the test.
Yeah, I was always the last one, so I don't know how I'm doing that.
I guess we'll give a bonus, since no one is done, I'll give a bonus 3 minutes.
Yeah, the vision is the hardest one. Like there's a lot of different answers.
Mm-hmm.
Super. And I think that to answer the vision question, you need to generalize it as much as possible and see the subject from very high level. Because if you are digging into little pieces of all the concept, so you couldn't cover all the idea. So
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so who's done?
I'm done.
Anyone else? Okay, once one more person is done, we stop. So who's gonna do it? Who's gonna win? And then we read our results.
I'm done as well.
Oh yeah, Angela for the win. Okay, Angela, you start, and then sorry, I wasn't watching the screen. Is that Cyprian who's done?
Yeah.
Where should I put it? I've just taken it down on my own notebook.
Oh yeah. Definitely type it out and make some note cards, and then you're really done.
Okay.
So then everyone can see it forever.
Seems that I'm not done actually because I don't have access to the board.
Oh no! Oh no!
Okay, I'll find my way.
I think Olivia needs, or maybe I can. You know what I can do? I think I closed the board, and now I can just make this. Ooh, oh, maybe not. Copy invite.
It should be open for everyone to edit. You can see the board, but you can't edit.
I'm gonna give
I
you
did-
the link. Here's an invite link that should give you permission.
Let me check. First, I perhaps should sign in or log in. Then. Just add another note in another column, right?
Yeah,
Out of
just
the existing ones. Exactly.
you can just put 3 notes with your answers somewhere, and then we'll organize it after the call. Livia and I probably.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so well, maybe we'll just go with Cyprian. You can go first, and then do you say Vasily that you're also done? Okay, so then Cyprian, why don't you start? Where's your cards?
Cool. Yeah. Bottom of the rose quadrant here. Pink, like at the bottom of the pink quadrant.
Oh, you can remove the pink stuff by, there's like something that says hide edits or something. But right here?
Yeah, I'm the lowest one. So I did like a last column, which I'll call sum up. And I just summed up like from every line. So then should I read it or leave you guys to it? Okay, cool. So first, the founding culture. I think it's found mostly TE focused project that provide a public good. That was the answer from everyone, more or less. Then what is out of scope? I think it's funding anything that isn't open source or will not benefit the TE community. so that if we find something that is open source but does not benefit, okay, so it's an and actually, it's not an or. And so it needs to be open source and it needs to benefit the T community. Then how will the world change because of the T Commons? I think it's create a safe, I really try to kind of paraphrase everyone, create a safe public digital infrastructure for value creation and distribution. Then the fourth one, how the T Common can bring about that change, research on education. That's pretty much the same as Angela said, but I think it sums it up pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And then what is your vision for the vision for the T Commons? I think it's funding and policies. That was the hardest one, but I think it's how do we, the long-term vision is the T Commons will be this pool of funding and this pool of policies that kind of directs how the funding work, and how do we administrate the knowledge that is produced thanks to that funding.
Nice.
Actually, I should add policies for knowledge management. A very, very high level, but I think it captures most of what people said. And finally, values. That was the easiest one because it's kind of granular. So you have transparency, diversity, integrity, safety, and common good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, well, that's it. Thank you for summing up everybody. That was really nice.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, well, Shebnem, do you want to go next? Looks like you moved your...
I think.
Oh, yeah?
Or shall I just bridge?
Just go ahead. I'm still trying to.
Yeah, I also would have needed another round, but maybe it is already useful as a sort of sifting through. And this is the second, yeah, you see where I am, maybe?
Yeah, you're right here, right next to,
exactly. So
in fact, maybe if everyone can bring it down to this corner, it might be useful.
So basically, how will the world change? And literally, I just went through all of it and picked up what I think belongs together, but couldn't come up yet with synthesized word for every star. But literally, the how will it change? The world will be more humane, self-sovereign, empowered communities. It will thrive on economic, financial, real values-based, non-extractive digital infrastructures. It will be diverse, collaborative, and value or revenue stacking. That comes up a bit, and I think it's worth looking into how to define it. Is through this diversity and through the collaboration, through our ability to reuse, build on the common knowledge that we generate while we go. I think there is a lot of new value creation possible. But the world will be safer, anti-fragile, mature, widespread, democratized understanding of what we're building at large scale. And this is how the world will change. Mm-hmm. So I think it needs another round, but maybe it's already helpful in some sort of ways. So how did the Commons bring about that change? Through research, application, inspiration, and seeding, through education. That was super clear in my view from what I read. And what is the vision for the T Commons? That certainly needs another round. But obviously it's interesting that many people also see it. It's beyond crypto, reaching through others. I would even go, digital economies or digital information societies. How to bootstrap a Disneyland. or this labor output attention funding labor that is kind of self-sustaining something, right? So and it is bootstrap, meaning the intention of funding that goes in there is important, not just funding but intention of funding. And the vision is that will produce battle-tested, safe infrastructure like governments do, but for our community or for this digital new society. And it will be based on the science of incentives. I picked that because I think that's what we try to describe, right? TE, token engineering, it's about incentive mechanism design and creating a body of knowledge around that. I would say these are the keywords that that feed into a vision, but I couldn't come up with the vision sentence from that yet. But I thought these were the interesting and important recurring themes. I hope that's helpful.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I see Angela's posted notes down here. Do you want to go for it, Angela?
Yeah. Okay. So, number one, how will the world change because of T Commons? T Commons enables building safe economic and financial infrastructure to empower free and sovereign humans and communities.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And second, how did T Commons bring about that change? T Commons funds and aligns incentives for token engineering research and education.
Nice.
I was
Mhm.
thinking about first T Commons only funds, but then I thought, yeah, this should be also about aligning incentives.
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, what does that mean? And I think this tiny little difference really can make a huge difference when it comes to TE Commons activities.
Definitely.
Not sure.
Yeah.
And last one, there I was struggling a little bit, and I decided then to go, okay, for the actually what, yeah, I'm not sure if this is a vision, but I was trying to collect what's there. Enables bootstrapping, collaboration, maturity, transparency, and accessibility of token engineering knowledge and tools. But
Nice. Yeah.
not sure about the last.
Yeah, I felt the same way about the last one. I almost felt like the first one was a better vision than the last one, than
Exactly.
like the
Mm-hmm.
tools
Yeah.
for the last one. Let's see. It looks like there's someone who wrote these down here. Well, here I'll go because I have my cards next to Shebnem and Angela.
Those are mine, by the way, I think.
Which these are yours? Okay. Do you want to go?
No worries. You can. No, I will just finish up a bit and then yeah.
Yeah, we only have 3 minutes left, so we're definitely going to go over. I understand. Someone had a hard stop, though. Who was it? Was it Jacob?
I have a mellow start.
I can do like 5 minutes more. Or
Yeah, same here.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I would love if. Okay, I will go really quickly, and then the people with the hard stop, please speak up and go next. Okay, so for me, the how the world will change because of the TEC basically felt like the vision, and I said that the world will be more accessible to all with safe and well-designed financial infrastructure as a public good. A lot of that was influenced heavily by Sargam. I liked something that Chris really said for the next one. How did TE Commons bring about that change? By creating a regenerative economy, which is kind of with aligning incentives and funding, but creating a regenerative economy that rewarded contributions to TE research, education, standards, and many other public goods that wouldn't otherwise have a path towards being supported. Also, communicating the risks to poorly engineered systems. So, because a lot of people said that last part, and I thought that I needed to shoehorn it in there. The TE Commons is like a protector of some sort. And then as a vision, I kind of just cheated because I ran out of time and took the top one and said the vision is to create a world that has create a world with a safe and well-designed and aligned financial infrastructure that is accessible and accountable to all. And I was actually really influenced by Angela's comment on that one. Not on this one, but maybe on one of the other cards about the democracy and voting. So yeah, those are my comments. Who's got the hardest stop? I think it was Jacob, right?
I still can do like 10 minutes, but I can go.
Go ahead, Jakob.
Yeah. So I have the same. I think the same approach. I cheated in conflating question number 3 and number 5, and still get to distill that. But for me, what was standing out the most was the kind of healthy, democratic, and equitable public infrastructure, allowing for less dependence on the extractive parts of private or state sector, and encouraging more interdependence or independence or healthy interdependence and value sovereignty. And yeah, I would still need to make it more digestible, I guess, but this is the part of the way. And for the question number 4, so how, through developing the science and practice of incentives or ecosystem incentive alignment, education, research, experimentation, dog fooding, and diligent ethical practice and reflection. And again, I think I would need to package it more digestible way.
But
It's
cool.
very eloquent, though.
Yeah.
Who else still needs to go? No, no one. Okay. Livia, you didn't do it, right?
No, I just did the first one. That is economic system design as a safe and inclusive public good.
Nice. Okay. Okay. So now, and I understand if you have to leave. I'm really sorry for going over. I'm not too surprised that we weren't able to get through all of this in time. But now we have to try to get it to one card. And it seemed like 3 and 5 really both need to be distilled into one thing. What did you guys like? Maybe should we do? How do you? Yeah, Shebnem, do you have? What were the highlights here?
So I think, I don't know why, but I think Jakob's last summaries of 3 and 5, distilling those, and also there were repetitions of the most important catchphrases. I think makes sense that the distillation of 3 and 5 into a vision statement could work out, and the how is pretty clear. Like adding, yeah. So
yeah.
Probably you will need to have another round, but I think now it's easier. Would you agree?
Oh, it's definitely easier. Well, do we want to? I don't have a plan for how to now distill what we've distilled. So I'm open to suggestions. I thought we would just debate it, but maybe what is like a very key piece that needs to be in there? Oh, Vasily.
Yeah. I think I was missed a little bit. Sorry. Yeah. So I will be very fast. So when I thought about these questions, I tried to be aside of crypto, aside of blockchain, and think in economic point of view. So I think that how world will change because of tech. I think that the main change will be that people will create their own economic systems and mechanisms that are independent from state corporations and tied to real values, because a lot of things in our present economy is not tied to real values. For example, oil futures are tied to very speculative prices. So we are living in the world. We have bananas, it is a real value, and we have stocks, it is not real value. But our life is affected by some bubble value. So I think this will be the change. So how Tech Commons will bring that change? I think here we have two pieces: tech infrastructure, because majority of people don't understand anything and they just want a product to use it. From my point of view, and from education, because for example, if you're in Africa and you want to sell iPhone to some people who don't know anything, you need to sell this iPhone. You need to describe them that this is a super high-tech stuff, that it is cool, that, for example, you will be most coolest person in your family if you have iPhone. So you need to go to their brains and sell them that they have another approach to make some stuff. So education and tech infrastructure. And what is my vision for Token Engineering Commons? It is a system that promotes and supports social and economic changes. And for me, the most important example is from private goods to public goods, and from rent extraction to rent using inside the community, because the majority of businesses at the moment, they just extracting rent from economic processes to the stakeholders. And so the dry economy, they take out the liquidity. And I think that a very important thing is to keep this rent, all this surplus inside the community, and to help them to grow the economy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are really good. Okay, so now I guess we can try to pull out our favorite lines from all this and try to put it in one card here.
Griff, I think I have to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone have any favorite lines from other people?
Griff? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I have to leave now. I have actually scheduled another conversation with Shebnem.
Yeah.
I think what might be important, I realize now, is the verbs. What is the TE Commons actually doing? Is it funding? Is it governing? Is it aligning incentives? Is it offering? Whatever, because I think that makes a difference for, okay, if this is the guiding vision.
Yeah, or the output, the outcomes.
Absolutely.
Whatever we do, what are the outcomes? So I think there. I don't know. It's difficult, but I think maybe another round of just quietly looking through what has been distilled now might give a more distilled view.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
Jakub.
And I want to just say on Angela that there's also going to be a mission. So the vision.
Yeah, this is rather than the activity, right?
The mission is those actions, like what are we doing to do this, to get there, and then the vision is there.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I also will have to jump. And perhaps last comment. I wasn't on the first round, and what I'm finding that I'd like to see a bit more. I'm not sure if in this whole conversation, but more emphasis on what might be the threats actually, because what I'm finding that every digital infrastructure of this kind gets co-opted at some point by entities, right? On the level of language, methods, technology. And it seems to me that part of the vision building might be also not prevention, but also the ways how it could go wrong and the ways how to start preventing that. So that's just what I wanted to mention, and that's, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so we also might need a definition of the, let's say, what is good, what is important, what is open, right?
Yeah. So the notions of value, maybe it's also important to extract the words that have a valuable connotation to them.
Yeah, I mean, we will. I think this is all really important context that needs to get added in.
Yeah.
Not necessarily all to the vision, which is one sentence, but to the creation of this
Yeah.
ecosystem.
So
thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you. And if you need any help, support, or yeah, brainstorming, just call out. we are there.
Well, I think Olivia and I and maybe Cyprian and Vasily will
Okay, go on.
we'll keep chugging away.
Thank
See
you
you.
for making this possible. Bye bye.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Thank you guys. Okay, so I think the first step is figuring out how we want to come to a distillation. Do you guys have any brainstorms? Like, should we just start? My theory would be to start pulling out little pieces and try to like debate which ones go in or not.
Yeah, like try to divide it by like taglines or just expressions or group of words that we can reuse, because in the end we're kind of all talking about the same thing, just like how do we put it in a coherent sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry, I was waiting for my devs to call me, and they are calling me now, so I'm gonna have to jump. But thanks a lot for organizing that, and maybe we should do like a follow-up call on the distillation process, because we did a super good job of kind of putting all together. Now we just need to sift through it,
Yeah, the goal is that we will come out with a sentence. It's probably going to be a long one, and then post it, and then hopefully on Thursday we'll have another call where we, asynchronously we'll debate it, and then on Thursday we'll solidify it, and then talk about mission and values.
Perfect.
This is the dream.
Super
Okay.
cool. All right.
Thank you, Cyprian. Thanks for coming.
All right. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
So, Griff, I think that your answer for question 5 is really good, and I added it to to the distillation.
You added. Oh yeah, where's our? Oh yeah, okay.
I mean, not edit. I mean, I just put it near
Yeah.
to the distillation.
No, that's great.
So as for me, I think that we need to make it less script and more economical, but it's just my own vision, because the majority of people who will use it, they don't understand crypto, I think.
Yeah, I have to agree that crypto is means to an end. It's like we don't talk about the airplane when we say we're going to fly to Spain. It's just like that's part of the infrastructure, but that's not the goal. Is to get to Spain.
Yeah. When I fly, I don't need to know how this plane flies and how pilot works, right? So
yeah, and the vision wasn't to fly in an airplane. The vision was to get somewhere.
Yeah, the vision is that you have very fast and relatively secure transportation thing, because airplanes are more secure than trains and cars. I mean, in statistics. So
yeah. Okay, so let's see. So safe for sure. I think most people said safe and infrastructure.
But it is a question safe from the cybersecurity point of view, or safe from the economic point of view, because this fiat system is not safe from the economic point of view. In some cases, it looks like a Ponzi scheme, and it can make a big bang, big short, and a lot of people will be without jobs, without homes. So it is not safe from the economic point of view, I think. So, and the community inclusion currencies, for example, they're quite safe, I think. So it is a great benefit.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that's what people mean by safety. What do you think, Olivia?
I think that's something we're gonna discuss more in the value session. because then we'll have all the values and we can break them down and see what they mean for each person that talked about them. But even if we have an agreement now that we need a safe system, that's enough for the vision, I think. And then after we'll find out what safe means.
Yeah, that sounds right. I mean, but I'm pretty sure it'll be right if we don't include safe. So let's see. I think it feels like structure was pretty popular too.
Yeah, and for example, when I'm talking about independence from states and corporations, it is also about safe infrastructure, because if you use, for example, fiat system, you are tied to all risks. So you make your own solution, like fintech solution on fiat infrastructure, but you carry all risks. For example, that your bank correspondent will have more debt that he can provide payments, and so on. So when you like make a border between your system and this big and like poisonous system, you eliminate a lot of risks there.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of, I like how you said economically safe. I don't think anyone put that in there, or maybe did anyone else kind of go that route? I guess, well, I kind of went well designed.
I would say that a mix of these two, your answer and Angela's answer, would be the, I don't know what includes more of all the views that were given.
And maybe we can add to the.
I mean, here's Angela's like.
So, Griff, I have a proposal. Maybe we can add to bring a safe infrastructure. Maybe we can add something about social changes, because these systems are different from the existing ones, and it is a great shift in mind to use them. So, and you need not only bring infrastructure, you need to bring new mindset to the people.
Yeah, education.
Yeah, so it is a question for.
Well, but that's the education is that sort of feels like a how, like a mission.
Yeah, it is a question for about education, but about what is the vision for token engineering commons. It is not only about infrastructure. I think it is also about social changes. So, for example, blockchain, it is about tech, significantly about tech, but a lot of about new social changes, about your new mindset, because a lot of people, they cannot understand Bitcoin, even if they work in banks and like investment banks. They need maybe months to understand why it is completely new asset class. So, and when you educate this person, you bring a social change to his mind.
Yeah.
So when you,
I mean, I would.
So the mindset that is now in maybe 99% of people minds is that in every process there is a particular person or entity that can answer. So the bank, the state, the corporation, you go and said your product is bad, for my money lost, and they give you this money back, or you can go to the court. And when we are talking about automated token engineering systems, often you don't have a master key. All right, so it is a really decentralized system, and to shift the mind, it is social change.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think that we should go back to everyone creates their last distillation, because I can't think, I can't distill it and think at the same time. You know what I mean? So maybe Vasily and Livia, let's all just like write one more. and then from those three we can I think with just three of them it'll be really easy to like oh yeah, you nailed it, okay, let's add this, let's add that.
So I made my own ones.
Definitely still. Okay, I think I'm happy with mine. Olivia, what do you think? Oh, you're still going.
1 second.
So I made my own distillation for third and 4 question, but for the fifth question, I don't know, because I like my own view, but I think it is not honest to use my own view as a distilled one. So,
Well, I mean, if you don't think it's changed, I think it's fine. If that's if you don't think you have anything to edit it to make it,
I think
include some.
Yeah, I think that in Tech Commons you have tech part and changes part. There's tech part, it is about infrastructure, how it works, what is based on, technical side, and social and economic changes is what is changed by implementation of Tech Commons. So I think it is two main generalized highlights. Any other things are inside these two ones.
I'm hoping that we can get something that feels like an end state. Like, but we'll put them all together. You got it? Okay, I can't find your
somewhere.
Yeah.
We can read through.
I see Livia's. Bringing yours over here, Livia, just like up a little bit.
Yeah.
Where did you move it?
The cursor is.
Oh, there.
Sorry, I just moved it to the computer here. But I don't see Vasily.
Yes, sorry.
I guess are we just using your original one? Okay. I'm just gonna copy this response from the server. My Miro board just like froze for a second. Okay. So I think I just copied this area where Livia. You see Livia's cursor and my cursor up here?
You're cutting a little bit.
Okay. So let's see if we can take these. What?
No, you were cutting off a little bit, but now I think you're.
Oh. So yeah, let's see if we can read these three and see if we can get them to be just one. So mine was to create a world with a safe and healthy, empowering financial infrastructure, enabling value creation that supports humanity's collective needs. Livia's, yeah, go ahead, Livia.
This enables access to economic system design through aligned funding mechanisms to empower the sovereignty and safety of humans and the planet.
Nice. Vasily,
yeah.
Did you want to change your fifth one at all, or should I just copy paste your fifth?
I think the fifth one is. So I already said that it is like technical side, the system from technical side, and socio-economic changes from the human side. But I think maybe your definition can be more more not so generalized with some particular stuff, because mine is too generalized, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and also it's very. I feel like it's missiony. Like the next step. I mean, and maybe this was a mistake in how we did this, where we're doing just the value and then just the mission and then just the vision. Because I feel like the mission and the vision are together. But okay. The TE Commons name is access to economic system design. So, you know, I like this economic system design. I like that. And then you say social change and economic change. Is that right, Vasily?
Yeah, yeah.
So let's try to bootstrap these things in together. I want to kind of have this to create a world with is like a starting point that kind of frames this picture.
Yeah. So
are you guys down with that?
So agree to create a world, it is equal to change mindset of the people of the majority part of population. So when you create a world, you attract people. So a world for me means people that are attracted to the project and say, "Oh, it is cool. I will use it." Right. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the world.
Yeah. So. When we are talking about the world, so at the moment, I think any tech is useless without community. So I think that the world, it covers a lot of stuff. It is really cool.
Okay, and then I think mine is definitely missing the. I don't know if supports humanity's collective needs is really enough of a social change. Did other people kind of say like social change?
Sorry?
Did other people really include social change much though?
So I think that, for example, if you didn't use Bitcoin and you start use Bitcoin in common life, it is really a big social change in your mind. So
mm-hmm.
It is how I consider it is. So, for example, if previously you kept all your money in fiat in some stocks, I mean centralized fiat stocks, and now you keep your money in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe tokens. So it is also big social change. And for example, if you worked in just private business and get your salary, or now you're working in like cooperative, and you how it will be, sorry. So for me, the economic change is when we're transiting from private owned firm to cooperative, where all are equal, where all can get a share of value that is produced by this cooperative, where we don't have entity that extracts rent. So for example, we make a lot of stuff, we sold it, we have a lot of money, but nobody will take it out, and we will be poor next day. So we will like allocate this money to new production. Part of money we will allocate to the people. So it is like a DAO, right? So as for me, the DAO, it is like a cooperative model, and private owned firm, it is not a DAO at all. So
yeah.
So
I mean, there's. What about if we just add the word like novel? And I mean, so I changed healthy in mind to novel, like a novel financial infrastructure. Would that incorporate the change in there enough, or does it need a little bit more?
I think whenever public goods come up, I think about social change, and I feel like it brings more to the scope of what is being done, because then people know, like, oh, it's bringing social change through public goods.
Mm-hmm. So should we just put public goods here instead of humanity's collective needs? TE Commons. Maybe instead of financial, we should say economic.
yeah, because financial, it is
It's like that.
it is a word about banksters more than about people.
Yeah.
I like the wording of humanity collective needs.
I feel like
I think sovereignty is important, though.
mm-hmm. Safe, novel, and sovereign economic infrastructure. Oof. Sovereign is a dicey word.
You think so? It has like so much of the governance inside of it, like the self-governing kind of thing.
Yeah. It also, like, if you have a lot of, sovereign powers go to war.
Mm.
So if you have like a lot of sovereign economic infrastructures, I think of like competing
Mm.
instead of collaborative.
No, I think it is about that it is independent from the state and from the current system. It is not about that one community is competing with another. So community can collaborate and can make some unions, guilds, and all this stuff. So
Yeah. So kind of so trying to make it independent of the state. I mean, I think we have 3 anarchists on the call, so
yes. So it is the reason why I wrote independent from the state and from corporations and tied to real values, because when you are tied to traditional financial system, you're tied to some derivatives, to some you're not tied to real value. So even the money on your bank card, it is not a money, it is a debt. I think you understand this. So and when you have tokens, it is absolute value. So like a coin of gold, and the token, it is like a physical value, but in electronic, in digital representation. So, and I think it is like one of best value proposition of crypto, that you're working not with some derivatives, not with some air. You work every minute. You work with physical but digital good.
Yeah. M0 money.
Yeah.
I would suggest that that we take a fresher look at this in like 10 minutes if we can, and then continue to work on it async. I don't know, at least I feel a little bit puzzled with everything that is in there now, and it would be good to take another look and then combine all of these things together.
Okay. Sounds good. I have a hard stop at 4. So I'm down to take a breather though for like 5 minutes and come back.
Yeah, so I need to go to another call soon. So if it's possible, I will review it a little bit later. Okay?
Yeah. Let's try to do it via chat.
Yeah.
And just keep proposing it. And here, let me just make a quick Telegram group. What's your
I will send it here in chat. Do we have a chat? Yes. Yes, we have a chat.
Yeah, I think async is probably the best way to go. But I do hope that we can come up with something in the next 22 minutes. I know that's crazy, but otherwise we'll just always be working. It's not something that can really be done, you know? But this is great. So, okay, I made the chat. I'm going to add you, Vasily, and we'll talk on the chat.
Yeah, thank you. It was a pleasure to meet you here one more time. So, and I have a question before I will leave. It is like a topic 1. I wanted to chat about this maybe several weeks ago, but I forgot. So on one call, you said that you got funded from Panvala, right?
Yeah.
And if it is not a secret, is there any liquidity on PAN tokens? So do you have opportunity to sell them and get some real money to fund your project?
Yeah. Well, Livia, you can go if you want. We're totally on a different topic. So.
No. So it is.
Yeah. Panvala had. I'd never been funded so directly, other than like donations on Gitcoin in Pan, then get matched by more Pan inflation. So, like, and then for the first 3 donation rounds that they did, there was no value for the token, but then Uniswap came up.
Yeah, so I'm asking this because a year ago when Panvala was introduced, I was I had a free time to make some reviews, so I made a review of BZX protocol and find economic vulnerability, and also I made a review of Panvala, and I highly criticized them because there was no liquidity and there were risks that you will get, for example, $1,000 and take out $500 because the price slippage. So, but it really works. So it is, just feedback for me for understanding, is it a working system or it is, just words that we will help funding, but it's shit. So it really works, right?
Yeah, I mean, we received, I think it was like some very close. Common Stack received $5,000 from Panvala and I think we turned it into 4,000 DAI. So definitely major slippage. We were the biggest group funded though as well, and then we cashed out. And what I should have done, honestly though, is done an OTC trade to myself, and just bought the tokens from myself instead of destroying the market because of lack of liquidity.
So
I regret doing that, honestly.
Yeah. So because I'm really don't like value transfer tokens at all, because I think why you use Panvala tokens when you can use DAI and directly fund. Yeah. So the funding distribution mechanism, I think it is great, but like selection of a token with no real value and value only from demand of supporters is not good. Yeah.
It's I think that there's like, I think it's like that's the most critical piece, is that you have supporters that have value, but it doesn't have to be the only piece. There can be other incentives for using the system, right? There can be other demand use cases for the token. And so what Panvala did to generate this demand use case was they said, hey, if you donate in Pan, then you get, then the people receiving the donation get extra Pan.
Oh my God, it is death spiral, I think.
Well, it's a death spiral until you realize that there is a demand for donations. And yeah, it's kind of crazy because donations from an economic standpoint don't make any sense.
Yeah, so so but I said that it's like a Ponzi scheme because you need to have more demand than supply at every time. So
yeah, well, so like what I would say is that the pyramid mechanic is present for every financialized asset. Like whether it's onions or Panvala tokens, like the people who who farm the onions are selling it to the next sucker, who's the distributor, that then sells it to the next sucker, who's the grocery store, who then sells it to the next sucker, who is the person who eats the onion, right? Like it's this constant.
But
I mean,
but from the economic point of view, we have a significant difference between onions and Panvala tokens, because first of all, onions are standardized good. So it is like, like a crude oil. So it is a good with real value, with already established market, and the market is really huge. But so I think
so it's an incumbent financial asset. That doesn't mean that that's one thing, but I don't think that means you can't have novel financial assets.
you know that onions, it is like a stable coin that provide you onions. So
Yeah.
what you guarantee that you will have an onion.
That's true, because you can turn an onion to another onion.
Yeah, and Panvala tokens, you don't have anything behind it. So onion is tied to real good and real value, and Panvala doesn't. And
Well,
also
it's same with
onion have,
Bitcoin.
but Bitcoin has a big market with a lot of buyers, with a lot of use cases, and with real economic activity, and Panvala not.
Well, but Bitcoin didn't always, right? Like, there still has to be a space for a transition, a space for like non-incumbent financial assets to transition from being novel and young to actually being used. Like against Bitcoin in 2010.
Sorry, you're lagging last 2 minutes.
Not that all it will be. Not that. So well, what I the argument that you made against. Oh man, that's so weird. Let me switch my Wi-Fi. Hold on, just a second. I really.
Yeah, man. So if somebody will ask what you did